Hello again, here's Mike back in the garage. Saturday, so not doing too much. I figured today, well, since I'm waiting on parts again, is just a day we're gonna clean up the Bogarts for the coupe. So I'll give you a look. Here they are, just quick mounted up just for some mock-up. So they are looking pretty sweet, I gotta admit. I was kind of apprehensive on paying the money to get these things done, but if you want to be somewhat unique, you gotta spend a little bit of money anyway. But these things are should perform well regardless, because these things are light. So I do have the big studs, but usually you need those for the welds, but these don't really seem like they need it. They only have like a 3/4 inch or a 1/2 inch flange, but I did measure the width of these. I got them custom made, 15 by 9 with a 6-inch backspace, and it's gonna put me right, I think, where I want to be, because get a 10-inch wide rim that'll be getting really tight, especially if you ever hit some bumps. And I mean, the fenders are rolled. I don't know if I can get you around to see. It's too dark in there. But I rolled them, not super duper flat, but they're rolled to protect the wheels. But I just ordered some 26, 10, 15 stiff walls. So, and I never ran the stiff walls before. I had the regular 26 by 10s. I still have them on my 85. And they are wrinkle walls to the true sense of the word, because when you launch, that sidewall is twisting all around. And the thing I don't like about it is when you launch, the sidewall compresses so hard, the whole car like slams down to the ground as you get ready to launch. So I'm hoping with the stiff sidewalls that isn't much of a thing. It's just gonna go instead of, seems like it slams the rear end of the car down. It's toward the end of the road as it launches, as it wrinkles the sidewalls. So we'll see. Expensive experiment, but heck, my other tires, heck, I had those. I bought those back in '04, so 18 years old tires, and they're a little bit. They're still got plenty of tread. I haven't done a whole lot of racing on them, but they're a little bit past it. So, but it's odd. These are 15 by 9s, and it's 9 inches from like bead to bead, not lip to lip. So hoping that doesn't affect too much, but I don't know, because if that's how they measure them, that's how they measure them. But so one of the things I was doing, didn't show, but I was doing some extra polishing on these wheels on the fronts, because the fronts are used and they're old. They're from 2001 is what I looked on the I don't know if I can show you here. There's some markings. That's signed. I thought it was here. There's some more numbers. I had like racing only. Here it is. I just have it upside down. I don't know if you can see that. Racing only 401. So April of 2001 is when these wheels were made. That puts them at 21 years old now. Jeez. So, but they were a little rough. One of them was dented. I think this is the one that was dented, because this is cleaned up a lot more. Through here, they took the dent out. I gave it a cursory polish back up. They even redid, like in here where it's welded together, there's silicone in here. And they stripped out the old stuff and they put brand new in here. They sent it back with new metal valve stems, which is awesome. But they didn't get in here. So that's what I am doing this weekend, or I've been doing. I did it on the other skinny. So let me take you in. Still, it's hard to do shiny stuff and it's even harder to do it. There's not enough light. But these ones are all nice and polished up in the middle. I still have to get center caps for it. They said they didn't have the stock, I guess the raw aluminum, to make the billet center caps at the moment. So all they have is the stamped steel ones with the Bogart decal on the end. So, I mean, I got to get something at least. Well, I don't have to get it, but I want to get it. So I'm going to have to call back, order center caps. I guess that just dropped off the radar. And I was getting all this done and worried about payment, shipping, and things like that. I was talking about the center caps, but it just never happened. So yeah, this isn't the one I don't think they repaired, because it's a little bit more dirty, a little bit on the inside. They still redid the silicone, which is awesome. I mean, they didn't charge me, so I can't complain. I mean, other than me shipping it to them and paying to ship it back. So I just refurbed them up. So I'm just looking at the offset, but I still have a 11 mil spacer in there, so this can go in another 11 mil, or heck, I can just run other spacers to get it where I want, move it around, but we'll see. So it's going again. What are we at to? We're up to like 48 degrees, so not too terrible of a day outside, but warmer in here now than it is out there. And so all right, I'll just get again on with some polishing. All I got is I don't have a Dremel. I got a Proxton multi-tool, I guess what you call it, but I like these a little bit better than I have a traditional Dremel here. I think I've had that one since I was in high school. I think it's probably almost 30 years old now. But regular Dremels are okay, but they just don't go slow enough sometimes to do some work. And this is actually a transformer, and this is a DC motor inside here instead of a regular Dremel that is AC powered. So this thing is more for modeling and hobby use, and it goes really slow if you want it to. And because it's a DC motor, it's got a fair amount of torque. I mean, you could probably hear that. I can stall it out, but it is really controllable compared to a Dremel. And it's not as fast as a Dremel, but like if you wanted to like hog metal away and cut things with cut-off wheels and stuff like that, the other Dremel is probably still better at doing stuff like that. But if you want slow and controlled and precise, this is what you want. And this is, it's light because it's only a DC motor. It's more pencil-like for control instead of holding, you know, big honking things like that. It's got it all self-contained, but it is just different. I mean, if you got a Dremel, it's fine. It's just that one's been problematic ever since new with collet chucks and things like that. And there's like a coupler inside here on the other one that's went out like 10 times since I've had it. I keep having to there's like a plastic coupler sleeve that I keep having to order that's overpriced to put it back together, but what are you gonna do? So I've had this one for a couple years and I'm really liking it. But anyway, so I got these little felt buffing wheels, this little kit that I got from Amazon, made in China. It's got a ton of these felt wheels, and when I was back in the States years ago, I had at Harbor Freight, I bought this buffing kit. I don't know where the heck I stuck it. It's got some wheels, a mandrel. Yeah, this is cerium oxide. I think when I was trying to do some glass polishing, that didn't really work out. Cheap eBay stuff, but it came with these like 4 different compounds. So I guess darker is rougher. Yeah, I was experimenting with things. These things are, I don't know good ones from bad ones, but this is the ones I got. But the white is the finest. So, but you can also see it's a bit brittle. It's a bit cracked. And it was sitting in the box. So what I've been doing is using a little bit of just wax and grease remover. Just a solvent is all it is. at times to use on the wheels to kind of soften this stuff up and get in here and just do some polishing. So it's probably gonna take me probably an hour or two just to do this wheel, but you just want to be careful. We don't want to slip off and ding stuff and, you know, make it any worse. But if it turns out like the other one, it'll just take some time and it'll polish up great. So, but you can tell these were, it says race only, but you can tell these things were used on the street. I mean, these things were all black on the back of the wheels. So, but if they say race only, you don't really want to use them for the street. I had some, so I have some Weld Pro Stars that I used for a couple of years on the street, and they developed cracks across the skinny part of the spokes. And I turned one. I still got it in a box. I want to use it as like a garden hose reel or make a clock out of it or something like that, because you don't want to drive on it anymore. Because the welds are two pieces of metal sandwiched together, and on the back side, every single one of the spokes was cracked through on the 5 spokes. So, you know, some drag lights probably, they got a lot more meat because they just got circles going around the edge. But Pro Stars, after a couple years and 20,000 miles on a couple different cars and the heat of the brakes and things like that, yeah, they're not a street wheel. So, not supposed to be a street wheel. People do it, but whatever. So, all right, you need to get in on this. Start doing some polishing. Might bring you in a little closer, and then I'll show you the final product. I'm back after the big polishing, some crud on there, time lapse. But as you can see, cleaned up pretty darn great. I did go really fine with the compound because I wanted to kind of preserve these little billet lines in here. I don't want to get too aggressive because then you go one stage and you need to go again and again. But just using this little chunk of white, it's probably jeweler's rouge or something like that, but I don't like the binder. I mean, it's just hard as a rock. But I use this stuff afterwards to clean it up, and man, I don't think they make this stuff anymore, but it was fantastic. It was just expensive. I got this one of these when I had I still have Weld Pro Stars on my 73 Mach 1, but this stuff's claim to fame is it polishes just as good as anything else, but it wipes off so much easier than anything else I've ever used. So I think when like Advance Auto or something, like I had this in the discount bin for like 50% off, I snagged like 3 tubs, and man, this must be 10 years old. So, but I got about half a tub left of the 3 tubs I got, and I'd like to get some more, but I don't even know if they make it. But when I get low, I'll have to do some searching and see what there is. But this stuff is really, really nice to finish off with. But all around, polished up super nice. You can see my reflection in there. So that soon probably be, well, I think Summit Racing ordered my tires. They said they're going to ship out like the 10th of March on I think the rears. So the fronts are supposed to ship like the 1st or 2nd of March. So, but whatever, I'll probably get them mid-March, and I gotta get them mounted and balanced and set them aside and get ready for summer. So, but yeah, stuff worked really good. Good thing I was wearing gloves, because I learned on the first wheel that I did, that black stuff gets everywhere. And I spun the wheel up, or spun it up, and I felt it all pepper in the side of my face, so I probably gotta go wash my face here. I don't know if anything's on there, but well, you don't need to see my mug. So I didn't use up too many wheels, but certainly got plenty to go. Nearly a lifetime supply there, but get this place cleaned up and on to the next project. So anyway, guys, catch you next week.